Thanks for coming along, everyone. My name's Mick Thomas. I'm one of the owners here at the Merri Creek Tavern, and welcome to the last in the series of Mandy Connell's fantastic and otherwise quiet room series. And it's been a really enjoyable thing for myself and Marky, who run the place, just to get different acts through and just see them doing a different thing. And it's one of the things that we sort of feel really happy about this room, and one of the positives of having a room that is so incredibly small is that we haven't got the tyranny of having to sort of put big crowds in all the time. So it's been a really varied program that Mandy's presented us with, and it's been a really enjoyable thing on a weekly basis, just to come up against some new acts, and some that I've known really well, and some that, as in tonight, as in Teresa Dixon, which I'm really looking forward to seeing. So thanks to Mandy, and thanks to all the crew for coming along here and filming it and making it something special, and just for putting our little bar on the map a bit. I think it's been a lot of things that we've been trying to do early week have been like this, just something that will just get people in our little bar. So good on you all for supporting such a thing, and without further ado, I'll hand you over to Mandy and Teresa for an otherwise quiet room. Thank you very much.
Here you all are. Every time we start one of these things, I wake up in the morning thinking, I haven't rehearsed and I don't know what's going on, no one's going to come. And then you're all here. Could you please start off with a round of applause to everybody for showing up? I'd like to acknowledge the Kulin Nations, the traditional owners of the land that we're on. I'd like to acknowledge any elders past or present or emerging, and of course elders from any other area as well if they might be in the room. Still not nailing this welcome acknowledgement of country thing, but I'm working on it, and it's a nice thing to think about. Isn't it good to think about how important where you are is?
Yes. Yeah.
This is Teresa Dixon. And you know all about place and the importance of place.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Oh, you called your release Bass Strait, so
yeah.
Location seems to be
pretty
up there for you.
Oceanic places are big importance to me, yeah.
So you've how old is this record that you've been touring?
Just over a year. Yeah.
A whole year old?
Yeah.
Did you have a party for it?
Yeah. Had for a couple of release shows and did a tour last year in July.
And I've seen you touring. You came out to Castlemaine pretty recently.
Yeah. Yep.
And where have you been touring with your release?
With Bass Strait, I toured up the East Coast, all the way up to Brisbane with a Tasmanian folk singer, Terry Young, who's an absolute legend. And we went up the East Coast, and it was great. Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
Well, you have a knack for picking pretty amazing musicians to work with. Teresa's, I guess, I kind of think of you as being from Tasmania. You're not really from Tasmania, though, are you?
No.
Well, you live there now.
Yeah.
And you seem pretty fond of it.
Yeah. Well, I ended up kind of getting stuck there. I I went down to do a little tour with one of my bands, the Stragglers, and then we took the car over on the boat, which is always fun. Those of you who've got the spirit of Tassie, it's an interesting thing.
I rang my mum from the ferry and went, "Hi, Mum." She said, "Darling, I'm at dinner." I said, "I just called to let you know that I made it onto the boat with the car on time." She said, "Congratulations, darling," and then she relayed that that story to the dinner table where she was on the I was so embarrassed. I was really proud though.
Yeah.
I love the spirit of Tasmania.
Yeah, it can be fun. Yeah.
But so you toured there with the Stragglers and fell in love and stayed.
Oh, well, the clutch broke in my car. Got an old Corolla.
There's a song in that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Samara, my bandmate, was driving it out to Franklin to see some people, and then, all this oil came out of it. And,
So what you were driving it, and what happens when the clutch
Oh, it's just a massive clunk, and all this oil just pours out of it, and it stops, I wasn't there. Like, Samara was driving it.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
she felt pretty bad. I'm like, don't worry, it was on the way out. Yeah.
But it's a sign, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, she caught a flight back. I stayed and got a crazy kitchen job with a mental chef and worked and got the car fixed. And by the time I did that, I didn't want to leave. And then Samara got jealous and came back over too. So now the Stragglers live in Tasmania.
And the Stragglers have just finished a tour as well.
Yeah.
Where did you end up?
We went to Adelaide, Perth, and then over to Indonesia with the Dead Maggies. And played in Bali, and then went all the way across Java. It was amazing.
I want to ask you about the Dead Maggies later.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's my first love affair with Teresa Dixon. But could you tell me a bit more about the Stragglers? How long has that been a going concern?
Yeah. Every time I get asked that, I'm like, how many years now? Samara and I have been playing together for probably around 8 years, I think now.
Mm-hmm.
And the Stragglers have been official for maybe 4 or 5 years.
Also years with Samara.
Yeah. So it's been fun.
And then who's your third?
Hannah Morell on violin.
Yeah.
She's also in the Dead Maggies.
Yeah. And when did you join the Maggies?
About a year ago. Yeah.
So, for those of you who aren't familiar with Teresa's work, the Stragglers is a three-piece that is heavy on the vocal harmony and beautiful kind of melodic folk. It's got an old folk feel to it. It's got an old worldy kind of...
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, the harmonies are really, really absolutely stunning. And then the Dead Maggies is a folk punk outfit that plays really loud. Also quite melodic.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, sometimes.
And I had been in this... I made this album a couple of years ago. My band had fallen apart, the Stray Hens. There's a kind of avian theme coming up. And I was a bit bored, and I contacted 2 other women and said, do you want to come make a record with me and see how we like each other and what we can come up with? And I thought, well, it has to have a name, so we called that the Maggie Darlings. And then every time I did my promo, I saw promo from the Dead Maggies, but never seen a show. And then it's like 2 a.m. in the session bar at the National Folk Festival. Just this building that's like twice the size of the Merri Creek Tavern, and it's full of musicians playing tunes and getting drunk. There's the Davidson brothers in this corner playing bluegrass, and there's like a jazz musical theatre cabaret group over there, and then there's the session singers, and they're like halfway up the stairs with their fingers in their rolling down to old Maui, and it's like
There's about 20 different Irish folk.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I made my way halfway through the session bar, and there's a bunch of people kind of standing around, and my old bass player from the Stray Hens was jamming with these guys, and I was like, hey, so good to see you. He lives in Raminginning in the Northern Territory now, so I'm really happy when I get to see him. And I stopped, and then somehow it was you, me, Hannah.
Don't ask me for any
It
details.
was just but we had this, what happened was that we had this epic jam where just women took over, and for a good hour, I reckon.
I don't know.
And we were all swapping it. So you play mandolin, banjo, and guitar. Do you play fiddle as well?
No.
But Hannah was there, and she was playing fiddle, and she
yeah.
plays a couple of other things when she feels adventurous.
Yeah.
And there was a double bass floating around. But all these women were playing, and we were just trading on all these different songs that we have in common, and,
Yeah.
and I just was like, oh, this is tops. This is great. Awesome.
It was a good meeting. Yeah.
But that's 3 pretty serious projects. Your solo work with your album Bass Straight, your Stragglers and your Dead Maggies.
Yep.
How many other projects are you involved in?
That's pretty much it at the moment. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I jump up with people here and there. Yeah, around the place. But yeah.
Gun for hire.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, would you sing us something from Bass Straight?
Sure. Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'll play the title track. That's called Bass Straight. In the dark, she sits and waits, too scared to sleep in case he's gone. When she awakes, and the doctors are all tucked in their beds, and down the hill, the waves still roll in Bass Straight. Bass Straight. Fluorescent lights line the halls, and the wind and rain hit the window in squalls, and her heart is right up in her throat as she watches his chest tensity rise and fall, rise and fall. And 5 a.m. dread sets in, she still waits. She roams the empty corridor to take a break. Her heart is right back in that room, and in the morning light she's by his side as he sleeps away, sleeps away, and the waves still roll, and the waves still roll. You all right?
Yeah, I just, you know.
Yeah, just make everyone cry first up. There you go, folks.
We were talking earlier when we were getting ready for getting everything prepared and things, and we were talking about how there's a lot of our music, both of us, I guess, is wrapped up in grief. And it's insane how much I resonate with that. You know, I looked after my dad when he was in hospital, and that feeling like...
Hey, it's in the third person. It's not actually about me.
Sorry, yeah.
Complete lie.
I guess I gave the game away there. Sorry. You can all pretend you didn't notice.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about me and my dad, yeah.
Yeah. But that feeling of being in a hospital corridor and just waiting, and it's an epic kind of thing. But I think that you've captured it pretty beautifully. There's a gentleness to it.
That's good. Yeah.
Which I really weirdly find comforting, because it brings up all these images, but then that speed of that experience, I guess, and that pace of that song is forgiving.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of love in it.
Thanks,
Mandy. I might swap you with the banjo.
Yep.
Banjo. So you also mentioned that you've had some other jobs in the past, and you've only given me a musical history of about 8 years. So how long have you been performing?
How old am I now?
21.
You could just say what age you were when you started, if you prefer.
Around, I think, 15 years, yeah, probably. Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'd be roughly about the same.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure when it became a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was around my kind of early to mid-20s. I picked up guitar and started writing, yeah.
And were you in a musical family, or were you in a folk scene? How did you...
No, not really. Oh, my grandma played piano and was a beautiful singer, and a few of my aunties are beautiful singers.
What kind of stuff did they do?
One of my aunties sang some gospel, and my grandma sang a lot in church, and and she taught me piano. When I was, go around and stay at grandma's, and she taught me piano. So I guess from an early age, yes. But I didn't really pick up guitar and start writing until my 20s, and it sort of came at a pretty important time for me as therapy. I was a bit of a mess and had a lot to get out, and music was therapy for me. There's a lot of songs that are kind of journal entries, really, I guess.
And where was that? Where did you grow up?
I grew up down in Seaford, southeast suburbs on the beach, and then kicked around Melbourne for a number of years, and then Phillip Island for sort of 3 or 4 years, and then Tasmania. So
Beach baby.
Yeah, always near the beach. Yeah.
We were chatting to John Von Goes on Triple R a couple of weeks ago. Teresa phoned in from the beach. Ironically, he decided that we should have a theme for the week of sharks. So I was trying to get you to tell a shark story. Yeah. But you didn't have any shark stories, only dolphins.
Well, I thought it was a shark to start with. So it's kind of a shark story. For a good period of time, I thought the dolphin. Yeah, I was shitting myself. Yeah.
I think you can probably swear. I might. Yeah. The lads have been very generous with the editing. It's not the ABC.
Yeah. Fuck it then. Great.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a shark for a good period of time. So I think that counts as a shark story, even though it didn't turn out to be a shark. And if it did turn out to be a shark, I wouldn't be here to tell it. So.
Well, I mean, they don't always.
True. I might just have a bit of my body missing. Yeah.
Or just a story.
Yeah. I saw a gummy once. I still got out of the water. So, nah. Anyway.
I get out of the water with a shadow or a plastic bag. Terrified of deep water. My dad always used to say, what are you worried about? You only swim in the top bit.
Drown in the deep bit.
Yeah, that's right. You drown in the rest, Dad. That's what happens. But you were in the water when you got permission to sing this next song.
Oh yeah, we're gonna yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this next
This is going to be
one's-
great vision, by the way. It was just us for 20 minutes going, yeah.
Yeah, this one's by Maddie May, who's a Phillip Island girl. Well, she lives in a van and she just travels around. Last time I saw her, prior to seeing her on Phillip Island recently, I saw her up at Crescent Head, just hanging out in her van, heading back from somewhere. She's been on a, boat. And anyway, she lives a pretty similar kind of lifestyle to me.
In a suitcase.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't have as cool a van as her. She's got a very cool van. I don't even have a van, so anyway. But yeah.
I bought a RAV4. Why would I not have bought a van? I don't...
But yeah, she played with me just recently when I played down in at Archie's Couch down on the Bass Coast, and she played this song, and I was like, oh, God, that's a killer. And I was thinking about it for days, and I was going to message her, and then I saw her out surfing at our favourite surf spot, and I asked her in the water if I could play her song, paddled up and asked her. She was pretty happy. I was pretty happy. We were in the water. We were already happy. And yeah.
Now I've got an ace story, so I'm happy.
And yeah, the song's called Waves, so that's in a very appropriate...
Yeah.
It's like, works, yeah. So yeah, should we play it?
Yeah. I'm going to let you kick it off there.
All right. Okay. And I went down to the water that day, hoping I would see your face, but all I saw was mine. And I ran down to the water that day, hoping it would ease the pain, but all I found was time. Honey, slow down, it takes time. You might wake up feeling fine, fall asleep in a flood of tears, 'cause it comes in waves, it comes in waves, it comes in waves, oh, it comes in waves. As I go into the water today, I feel like I have found my place. I'm coming home again. Honey, slow down, it takes time. You might wake up feeling fine, fall asleep in a flood of tears, 'cause it comes in waves, it comes in waves, it comes in waves. the big old blue. Sometimes I still think of you, but it's okay, 'cause it comes in waves. Cheers.
Maddie May.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got, that's on her EP, and it's recorded so beautifully. It's so nice to listen to it in the car when you're driving down the coast. It's just like, yes.
I know you've all got your phones off right now, dutifully as listeners in the audience, but Maddie May is a name to remember. You should definitely go check her out. One of the things we love to do in an otherwise quiet room is try and support other musicians and get independent musicians kind of shouting each other out, because that's how else are you going to hear about these incredible people? But I can't wait to meet her, I think.
She's a beautiful person.
What a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But again, there's that, there's a lot of environment and place and grief.
Yeah. Well, grief comes in waves, It's the simplest lyric, but it just resonates really strong with me. And when I heard it, I just thought of my dad, and it's perfectly written, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because you spent a lot of time looking after your old man, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like, gave up a big chunk of time, and
Yep.
I can definitely empathise with. I mean, I did a similar thing. I moved to Wangaratta.
Yeah.
Which is delightfully close to lots of very pretty places. There's nice things about Wangaratta, being catty, but I mean, it's not my favourite association with any place.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have a lot of, resonance with some of those themes, definitely. Well, what are you doing now? I mean, what's on the cards? You've just recorded an album with the Dead Maggies in Indonesia.
Yeah, we recorded it in Indo, and the Stragglers, we did a little bit of recording there too.
When's that coming out?
Yeah, soon. Sometime soon. Stay tuned.
I love that question. When's your album coming out? Like, when I've got enough money to print it?
Yeah.
You can pre-order one.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But that's always fun. And then is there another Stragglers tour coming up?
Not for the time being. We're playing at Illawarra Folk Festival, though. Are you going to be up there?
I don't think so, not this year.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
I
going
love
up
Illawarra,
that. And we're also playing at a little festival in Tasmania called Mount Roland Folk Festival. It's brand new little festival.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's in a couple of weeks.
So just add that to the list.
Yeah, Mount Roland. If anyone's been there, it's stunning. I mean, there's so many beautiful mountains in Tasmania. It's just like an endless amount. But yeah, Mount Roland's particularly pretty.
I climbed up Mount Hearts once.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah. I walked up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was even heavier than I am now, and it was a mission.
Yeah.
I was so tired. We got to the very top though, and there was this. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know the right word for this, but there are a lot of beetles. It's like a whole flock. Do you get a flock of beetles? Is that a thing? A swarm. There was a swarm of. They were like tiny little pale green white Christmas beetle type things. Ooh. And they were iridescent, and they were only at the very peak of the mountain. And I remember thinking this is the reason I sweated up all of those boulders.
You also get to see right over the Western Wilderness. It's insane when you get up the top of there.
And there are tons and lakes and so beautiful. I'm gonna have to come visit you.
Yeah.
But I was asking kind of, what, not just what's on the cards, what have you got booked in, but you've had a straight job before, and you kind of pretty free. What would you do if you could just do whatever you wanted? What do you want to do next?
Oh, if I didn't have to have a day job, I'd just play music. What do you mean?
Yeah, but everyone's got a project. I mean, I made an otherwise quiet room happen.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of it. But I still have bucket list things for. I want to make an album of really obscure folk music, but with a band of about 20 people, and make it a musical theatre with I want projected TV screens and heads of people's faces narrating parts of the songs. Like I've got a whole thing, you know. Do you
Well,
have
yeah,
crazy
I
big
want to
projects?
make another solo record. That's the next thing in line. But I do one sort of thing that's on the cards for some time is a kind of sort of a bit of a rockabilly kind of outfit.
Ooh.
And I've written one song, feminist sort of responses to all the really old school sexist rockabilly songs. I've got one written already, and it's called "I Don't Want to Be Your Baby Making Machine." Stuff like that. Just take the piss a bit and have a bit of fun and get people dancing. That's one project idea that I've got. You keen? You want to play double bass?
I'm in. Yeah, I do want to play double bass. That's on my
Learn
bucket
that
list
slap
too.
bass and you're in.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Banjo's obviously taken, but I'm getting my banjo back. I'm really excited.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm joining the club, man. I've got an accordion too. Look out. You know what they say? If you leave your banjo unattended in the car, you come back, there might be 4 accordions and 4 other banjos in there. So, well, that's cool.
Well, on the thing,
Rockabilly band.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a little change the subject slightly.
Yeah.
From the rockabilly thing, but back to On the Theme of Mountains.
Mm.
The next song is called Big River,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's written in the Victorian Alps on the Big River.
In your favourite place? Or is this
Near Lake Eildon on the Big River. Sort of like sat on a rock and looked at the river and thought about and just basically, I guess, wrote a love song for the river. Yeah.
It's a beautiful song too. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for teaching me your songs.
Oh, thanks for
you know.
learning them. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
That felt like a natural segue.
Oh, good. Did
We're
it
boss at
work?
this. I think it's good. Do you guys think it's going well? All right.
All right. Cool. This one is called Big River. River, big river, do you shape the land, or does the land shape you? Together you seem the perfect two. River, big river, do you smooth the stone, or does the stone sway you? Together you seem the perfect two. Keep on flowing through me, and I'll keep on swaying you. Keep on flowing through me, and I'll keep on swaying you. River, big river, can I be your land? I want you to shape me, and I want to shape you too. Together we could be the perfect two. River, big river, do you smooth the stone? I want you to shape me, and I want to shape you too. Together we could be the perfect two. Keep on flowing through me, and I'll keep on swaying you. Keep on flowing through me, perfect two. Together you seem the perfect two. Together you seem the perfect two.
River songs. Because you're right, rivers and rivers of river songs, can
Yeah.
you? Yeah. I think there was a lot of water-based songs in our first jam, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Waterbound, did we do? We did
Oh,
Waterbound.
yeah.
Dirk Powell.
Yeah, and I remember singing Bring Me a Little Water, Sylvie.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I think there might be a phone recording of that. And I can definitely say it sounded really good
At the time. Do you guys know that song, Bring a Little Water, Sylvie? It's pretty... You want to crack out a...
What, do you want to do?
Yeah,
now?
let's do it, yeah. Just a little bit of it,
yeah,
like not the whole thing.
I'm a lot less drunk than
Yeah.
that time.
you
So,
know.
I mean, yeah, we could give it a shot. This is risky.
Bring me little water, Sylvie. Bring me little water now. Bring me little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Bring it in a bucket, Sylvie. Bring it in a bucket now. Bring it in a bucket, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Bring me a little water. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Yes. Oh, you guys are beautiful. You're so beautiful. This is a perfect final episode for this season, I think.
Yay.
So good. I love it when they sing.
Yes.
So
That was
good.
that was good.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah.
and it's on tape, so we can.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably a lot better quality than.
The national.
I think it was pushing 5 a.m. by that point.
Yeah.
We were scraping
Yeah.
the bottom of the
And I
bar.
was holding the camera and trying to sing the harmony and like really loud, like belting it. So it's just me singing this. Like it's real bad. Anyway, I'm supposed to be promoting myself here, but
Well, I mean,
we had fun
you
at the
have
National
a
Folk Festival.
perfectly good release that they can listen to, which is good quality.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yes.
it's a beautiful little release. It's all blues, it's waves, and it's called Bass Strait. And you should, once you've got access to the internet, go and order a copy because it's just, yeah, I love it. I really do. It's been very good Castlemaine music.
Cool.
Yeah, they all know, except for a couple of... Actually,
Oh,
no,
hi.
not these are all mostly new people. Also, you've got fans, man. This is great. But a lot of these guys know I moved to Castlemaine about a few months ago, June 12th. That's how significant this is. I actually remember the day I moved in. I don't remember people's birthdays. I forget Christmas most of the time, but June 12th is the day I moved to Castlemaine, and I could not be happier. And I was like, I've got to do homework and I don't want to get ready. I don't want to prepare for things. I put on her album and went, oh, this is great.
Lucky.
This is really good.
Lucky you liked it.
Yeah, because then I would have been stuck with it. And
You were basing
could have been really
your invitation on National Folk Fest 3 a.m. So
Yeah.
I must have done okay. 3 a.m.
Oh, no, come on, I've seen you
Nah.
perform.
Yeah, no,
you know. and
just messing around.
there's also some great YouTube clips. If you like, once we've put this up and you like this episode, you can go check out some beautiful Hobart recordings, Hobart sessions.
Yeah, yeah.
Who?
Yeah,
runs
that's
those?
with a awesome cinematographer called we like to call Caterpillar. Yeah, who's we just thought let's start a little YouTube channel down in Hobart and
Yeah,
we're still
big
working
shout
on
out to
it.
Caterpillar and the Hobart sessions. And do check them out if you've been enjoying watching our stuff. There's a couple of great great video series that you can watch of musicians. There's a thing on the ABC called The Set, which I haven't actually got to check out yet, but everybody keeps telling me how great it is. So, get into it, man. There's a whole lot of great music floating around, and there's so much that you can just miss out on if you subscribe to Netflix and Spotify.
Yeah.
We've been, my friend and I work for my friend in this canteen. We've been listening to all sorts of different stuff. But we did a couple of like 90s playlists on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched Offspring and went, there's so much more that the 90s had to offer than that crap that we were listening to. And I cancelled my Spotify subscription and looked up the Offspring soundtrack. I've been listening to like Claire Bowditch and Eddie Perfect and it's some really great stuff, most of which I've forgotten the names of now because I'm an asshole. But the other thing we do on this show is we play one of my songs because originally it was a way for me to get content together, and you've been so nice about learning this song that I've written. I'm really stoked to play it with you. She makes it sound so good. But we are coming towards the end of the show.
Thank you, everyone. Massive thanks to the Merri Creek Tavern. So,
yeah, huge thanks.
Such a cool venue.
And once again, could you please give the crew a round of applause? That's a huge team. My friend Girl Friday would have been the person to welcome you through the door. She's a fantastic performer, and she's not here tonight, but Claire Bly helped me set up a lot of these events and helped me get my ideas in order so that I could actually make this project work. And Agostino Soldati heard about my harebrained scheme and made it totally functional and awesome and high quality, and you gave me so much faith in it, so thank you so much, Agostino, for that. And our newest members, of course, Mischa Herman on sound and Bob Hutchison on film. So what you need to do is hop on anotherwisequietroom.com.au. We have episodes from the Yarra sessions and the Moreland sessions up there, and there'll be updates coming through soon. Bob Hutchison and I have been working on a series, 3 different festival releases. We've got Dorrigo, Newstead, and sorry, Bob, there's a lot of work. I told you there'd be a lot of work involved. And so we've got episodes of Steve Poltz and Mike Harding from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Whoa.
Mike Compton. Mike Harding is an English folk singer, sorry. Mike Compton is a Soggy Bottom boy, and I didn't tell Bob, so we're halfway through the interview, and I'm like, so Soggy Bottom boys, you guys gonna tour again? And I'm like, I forgot to tell Bob. So Bob's behind the camera, just quietly pretending like he's not losing his shit. He's like, so, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Only changed my entire life. Thanks for the heads up. I am really, really proud of it, and of course, if you don't want to do all the research on the website, and I recommend that you do, because it's put together by Craig Kelly, our bass player, and 16th Floor Graphic Design, and we made a book. There's a whole book online that you can read. Can't buy copies anymore because I sold out. Yay! And and there'll be more. There's heaps more coming out. It'll be great. And we're going to do this song, and then I've got a couple last questions for you before we go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But thanks for being here. Give Teresa Dixon another round of applause.
Thanks.
Before anybody stirred, I had a cup of instant on my knee. I watched the light change with a startling range of colours. Strapped on my boots and I followed the call into the trees. Oh, that morning town train beats the cars on the corridor from the top of the mountain and down to the city, yeah. Oh, these boots ring out your songs with every footstep. Oh, Judith, you're haunting me and I love you. I set out at first light to follow that calling, and I followed the train tracks until they curved away. I ran out of tarmac, then I hiked up a dirt track, and I followed that path until I came to the top of the mountain. Do you know they sing your songs in the hills around here? Do you know they sing your songs on the televised news? Do you know they sing your songs when they're driving down the highway? Oh, at the top of this mountain there is a shrine to you. Town train meets the cars on the corridor from the top of the mountain and down to the city. Oh, and these boots ring out your songs with every footstep. Oh, Judith, you're haunting me and I love you. Call of the mountain. Before anybody stirred, I had a cup of instant on my knee. I watched the light change, what a startling range of colors. And I strapped on my boots and I followed the call into the trees. Oh, I strapped on my boots and I followed the call into the trees. So we're just about finished, but we've covered a whole array of your musical career, and there's a lot of, you've got your finger in some pretty great pies there. And I think too, though, that you have a pretty Australian sound. I mean, singing songs of place is, I'm always stirred by that. You know, to hear songs like I've got the Calder Freeway and you've got Bass Strait. It's really iconic things. But I wanted to ask you what you think about the Australian sound and what it means to you to sound Australian.
That's yeah. Dumped that one on me there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think actually, yeah, I could talk for a while about what it means to me to be Australian or what it doesn't mean to me. I feel pretty lost sometimes. But in terms of expression through music as an Australian, anyway, I think for me it's more about just being true and singing, letting your voice just come out and singing in your natural, don't put anything on, just seeing whatever comes out and being true to yourself and true to the song, I guess. It might sound cliche, but that's probably the most important thing to me. And yeah, I'm Australian, so it's going to sound Australian, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Is that...
Yeah, I mean, for starters, there's no wrong answer. You're right. We could talk about that for hours.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd save it to the end because that way there's a cap on it.
Yeah.
Don't want it to be the whole show.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's some iconic Australian sounds that for me, there's a kind of Australian bush dance music that is just like my childhood. It's really, really particular sound. And then there's the voice of Paul Kelly, which is emblematic, I guess. But it's been interesting to talk to lots of musicians on the show about what that Australian sound is. And I think for me, sincerity is my favourite thing about a musician.
Yeah.
And if it's not there, I kind of lose interest.
Yeah. No, same.
There's nothing worse, is there?
But then, that doesn't necessarily... I mean, if we're just talking literally about the accent of the singer, it doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to have beautiful expression singing in a different accent to how they talk. Some people, that's just what comes out naturally, and if if you believe it, that's fine. You know? But there is something about the Australian sort of accent that sounds pretty special in a song, I think. But yeah.
Well, I think it can be done well.
Yeah.
I've heard it. I can understand.
It can be abused.
It can really, and I do understand there's a lot of people out there who kind of hear an Australian accent and will walk out. I've got friends like that.
Yeah.
I've got one friend who wrote a song, whatever happened, the 3 chords and the truth. There's no O in country, it's just how you look. And he never sings in an Australian accent. I don't understand what's going on with that, but it always reminds me of that song.
Yeah.
But sincerity is definitely something that you deliver in all of your work, and even when you're just tearing it up with the Maggies and you're just right in the moment rocking it out, it's always sincere, and I really enjoy that.
Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, that's a goal of mine. Yeah.
Well, I hope that the otherwise quiet roomers will have loved your voice too, and the ones who watch it out there online, and I hope they go and buy your album too. But I don't know, did you like it?
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the very end of the Merri Creek Tavern sessions. Please once again thank Mark Garnett and Mick Thomas for hosting us. The tech crew, aren't they fantastic people? They're so great. And Teresa Dixon, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you online. Thanks very much, guys. See you next time.
Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Bring me a little water now. Bring me a little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Yes.
Thanks for joining us, Mick.
No worries at all.